Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to BalatonPark and welcome back at the starting grid itself, one of the main parts of the Sunday's program of the opening round in the 2024 ESETCup series, which is of course the second GT sprint, and we have got the duo of ARC Bratislava Lamborghinis sharing the front row right behind my back. And on the right-hand side of the starting grid, so left-hand side from your view, your perspective, is Adam Konopka. Sits on pole after today's qualifying. It was quite some bad luck in yesterday's running, both in the sprint and both in the endurance, which he did not finish for various reasons. But he is going to have another go today in the sprint. And let's see if we can hear from the man himself, sharing the front row together with his dad. Adam, hi. It was an eventful day yesterday. Not everything went to your plan, but you are here again on pole position. So what are your expectations from today's race?
Not crashing, yeah. My dad was really angry yesterday because I crashed 2 times. I didn't finish none of the races, so I hope I will finish this one. Yeah, that's the goal.
Okay, and in terms of performance, you were fast again in the qualifying. What is your race pace?
Well, I may be fast in qualifying, but if I'm not good enough in the race and I crash in, like, I don't know, 10 minutes before the end, it's not good. So I will try to keep the car on the track.
Understood. Best of luck for you. Okay, and we can make our way to the other side of the starting grid, to the other yellow Lamborghini. To the angry man himself. Let's see if we can get some emotions from him. Miro Konopka. Miro, hi, you're sharing the front row with your son. It's a great spectacle for you. Not the best of luck yesterday, but today is a new day. So what is your expectation from the race?
I hope only finish. Only one plan, finish the race, and okay, I am very satisfied. Of course, if my son is behind me, it's a super.
Great, have fun, enjoy it.
Thanks.
So that's the second sprint coming your way. On the second row, that is shared by Denis Vasek in third place and Hubert Darmetko right behind me in the black and green Porsche. So the sun is out, the track is great. Let's go and enjoy this one. We are opening the 2023 season here in Germany. First of the 6 calendar events that are ready for us this year.
Oh, there's contact between Joachim Galláš and Libor Milotan.
There is the race leader, Filip Salaguarda. They are now going to be side by side across the line, but Galláš is prevailing. Joachim Galláš scores another victory.
With his teammate, there's a slight touch in the first corner.
What a move that was!
And he's third, and there's a contact. Luckily, everybody else has managed to avoid that car. This is going to be a photo finish between the 2 Lambos. Who's first? It must be Denis Vasek. Unbelievable!
This is a big crash, massive crash. And there we are on the formation lap for the GT Sprint number 2 here at the BalatonPark. Really great weather, absolutely wonderful atmosphere for the second GT Sprint. And this is your order. We saw the first 2 rows, Adam Konopka sharing the front one with his dad Miro. On the second one, Denis Vašek, fast yesterday, alongside him, Hubert Darmetko. In P4 behind them, Petr Brecka in his Porsche, and alongside him, Petr Koukola, Libor Dvořáček and Andrej Lah sharing row number 4 from Radek Kolařík and Gábor Tim, who are completing the top 10. Behind them, Bob Bau and Franz Lahme, Rudo Beño, together with Antal Žigo, sharing the row number 7 in the lead of the GT4 class. Mark Kastelic in 15th, Kalman Bodiš in 16th, and Andrej Makarovic topping us off in P17. Eventful day yesterday, especially for our pole sitter Adam Konopka, who spun his Lambo out of the contention in the first sprint, and then having a little more bad luck in the endurance later on during the day. So he'll be definitely hoping mainly for a clean race in the second sprint. His dad having his back here in Hungary, so he'll be trying to fend off any pressure from the back, from Denis Vašek, from Hubert Darmetko. Let's see how it all pans out. Of course, we are awaiting the rolling start procedure, not starting from the standing positions, of course, and that is why also the 2 lines are actually swapped. Normally for the standing start you've got the pole position on the outside for a better entry into the first corner, and for the rolling start it's the other way around, so Adam Konopka actually lining up on the inside line for the first corner. There is the chicane, and the safety car still with us. Now the entire pack no longer warming up tires, already forming the 2 snakes driving next to one another. A bit of confusion maybe through the chicane there, but we are now going to move back ahead to the front of the pack, where the son and father are going to bring us back onto the starting grid. And as the light will go green, we can go racing, and it happens right now. Denis Vašek having a better reaction and immediately attacking Adam Konopka. Miro from the outside, Darmetko around the outside in his Porsche. Denis Vašek immediately taking the lead of the second sprint. Adam keeping second at least, Miro holding on to third and trying to fend off any further opposition. There's Darmetko in 4th. Libor Dvořáček slotting into 5th in his Michanek Motorsport Lamborghini down the inside. Tries to go Darmetko, and that was, I believe, Antal Žigo already on the grass in his M4 BMW, but only skipping across it and back on track right now. So it is Denis Vašek running away with it immediately. He took the opportunity, had a great reaction, had a great start, took first place, and is now trying to disappear from the ARC Bratislava Lambos. There they are. Darmetko in the Porsche, Dvořáček in the other Lambo. Behind them it is, I believe it's the other Lamborghini of Lemma Racing, driven by Andrej Lah. And there's also the GTX KTM. Yannick Motorsport had a lot of work on that car overnight because it was quite severely damaged. Even some components needed to be brought to the track, shipped here, because the entire front right corner was pretty much destroyed after yesterday's contact with Bob Bau. Bob in his Porsche number 846 started in 11th. So Denis Vašek leading us into the second lap with 3 seconds of advantage at the end of the opening lap of the race. Fantastic stuff. And it's Adam ahead of Miro in 2nd and 3rd. Trying to have a clean race, but Hubert Darmetko sensing a chance here. He will definitely be piling the pressure on, and The same could be expected from Libor Dvořáček. Andrej Lah up to 6th in his Lambo. Petr Koukola in 7th with the GTX KTM. Radek Kolařík, Petr Brecka and Gabor Tim completing the top 10 for the moment. It's a very brisk first lap, opening lap for Denis Vašek in the race lead, but now in the first sector it is actually Adam Konopka setting a 2/10 faster time. The sector time 37.2 for Vašek in sector number 2, 38.3 for Konopka. So being rather cautious. He didn't really have the greatest of lines through turn 5 as I saw, but nothing dramatic. There are the remaining Lambos and then the Porsches. And a brand new update for GT Sports Technology with Petr Brecka in the car number 85 running 9th overall. There's the GT4 cars. They enjoyed a great battle yesterday in the endurance race with the Aris Racing team coming out on top. The pairing of Rudo Benio and Risho Gonda taking victory in the endurance race. So Denis Vašek setting the fastest lap of the race at 1:38.8, a full second quicker than Adam Konopka behind him in the car number 77, the car number 4, driven by his dad here in 3rd, still trying to hold off Hubert Darmetko. So the cards are now set this way, and let's see how the entire sprint pans out eventually. Darmetko still very close in his Porsche. Absolutely on the limit of the grip in the braking zone. And this is actually a great chance for Denis to score an overall victory today. He was victorious in the GTC class yesterday, and the overall crown here up for grabs as well. We do not have the Trevor Racing's M6 GT3 on the track today. Only the M4 GT4, currently driven by Antal Gigot, and he's the class leader. Still 4 cars on track among the GT4s, the 2 BMWs, the 2 Mercedes guys. Mark Kastelic ahead of Andrej Makarovic with Rudo Benio in between them. And there's the leading Lambo, car number 100. Already enjoying quite a nice gap in the lead of the race. 4.9 across the line, with 7 minutes done out of this race. And we have got quite a fight in among the GT4s, but as well, if we look at the battle of the 5th, Libor Dvořáček, Andrej Lah, only 0.4 of a second between them across the line the last time out. So they are definitely enjoying a fight with one another, the two Lambos. This is the GT4 class, and they do have a Porsche in the mix. That is Kalman Bodiš. He's trying to come through. Oh, that was close. The Porsche versus the Merc. The Porsche being entered in the GTX class. Third currently in the category. That's the race leader, but if we actually take a look at the cars number 22 and 97, that's the fight for P5. Really very close to one another. Across the line they were. Sharing his car with Richard Gonda in yesterday's race. Now it is all up to him to do the race on his own, and he's currently behind Mark Kastelic, trying to come up with a move. So he's actually close, presumably even having a superior pace. He's got translated into an overtaken maneuver on the track. There's the two Lambos fighting for P5. That's Michanek Motorsports, Libor Dvořáček and Lemma Racing's Andrej La, really close to one another. And again, they were 1.1 seconds across the line from one another. 140.7, so personal best for Libor Dvořáček on the previous lap. 140.14 for Andrej La. Behind them Petr Brecka, 40.3, and he's also getting closer in his Porsche, so this could very well become a three-way fight as we are settling in the rhythm in this race. There's the Porsche in the background. Petr Brecka has already dealt with Radek Kolařík and took the 7th place off his hands, and now he is further trying to improve. Interesting line through the hairpin. Double apexing the left-hander. Robinho in another attempt on Mark Kastelic. He's close, but he's trying to be careful. Another look down the inside. They are still very close to one another. And there's the fight. There's the fight for second in the GT4 class. Robinho already had to go around the outside, which is not exactly the favorable line through that chicane, but on the other hand, with respect to the following left-handers, it could turn out to be, if you play it really well. The double hairpin in the first sector, the first two corners. Ooh. Careful not to trip over one another, and now there is chance for Robinho down the inside. Wonderful move, beautifully done. Mark Kastelic was sort of everywhere in that section of corners, and he got really wide off the line for the second left-hander, which left the door wide open for Robinho, and he simply decided to go for it down the inside, made the move, and took second from Kastelic and off his hands. Back to Libor Dvořáček, car number 22, and behind Andrej La. Very close to one another again across the line, the two Lambos, and Petr Brecka getting closer to view. 140.16 for Dvořáček, 41.2 for La, and 40.6 to Petr Brecka. Always choosing an incredibly tight line towards the apex, not really opening the corner entries too much. So it's good for defense, but not really great for the speed through the corner, which in turn then results in slower lap times. Again, very tight on the entry. And this is simply bunching up this trio together as we've just clicked onto the second half of the race. Just over 12 minutes left on the clock. Meanwhile, Denis Vasek has set the fastest lap of the race in 1:37.5. Adam Konopka has also upped his pace, 1:37.8 to his name, and there's 6 seconds between them. 37.5 again for Vasek, 37.5 now for Adam Konopka, who's just set the fastest lap of the race, but really only just 6/100ths of a second between the race leaders in terms of their fastest lap times, or actually 300ths of a second between their respective fastest laps. Adam Konopka, his personal best, 1:38.3. Darmetko 39.0, also as a green time, therefore being the personal best. Andrej Lá already all over the back of Libor Dvořáček's Lamborghini. He's trying to find the way through. Also Petr Brecka closing into the fight with 11 minutes left. Brakes for the chicane. Konopka lapping one of the GT4 Mercedes cars. He's already pulled away from Darmetko. They already have about 4 seconds between them. 6 seconds between Vasek and Konopka. Denis adding just a couple of tenths to his gap once again, just to make himself a tiny little more comfortable in the race lead. It's actually a fight for the race result overall, not exactly in the same class. GTC class for Vasek, his closest rival in the GTC class being the pair of Libor Dvořáček and Andrej Lá, fighting together for 5th on the road. The fastest GT3 currently Adam Konopka leading the race in the class, with the other GT3 today driven by his dad right behind him. And we're missing Trevor Racing's M6 on Sunday. Hubert Darmetko leading the GTC1 category, with the other 2 cars, or let's say further 2 cars, being further down the order in 7th and 8th, driven by Petr Brecka and Radek Kolářík. GTX class, Petr Koukola leading from Gabor Tim in his Lotus Exige V6 Cup. Ooh, problem for Libor Dvořáček, who is finding himself on the grass but gets going again. So, run out of road. There is Gabor Tim in front of Franz Lamer, Libor Dvořáček dropping down the order, losing a couple of places in the process. Andrej Lah being then promoted to 5th, Petr Brecka to 6th, Kolaří goes to 7th, Koukola to 8th, Gábor Tim to 9th, and Libor Dvořáček falls right down the order. Great deal of shame for the Mechanik Motorsport driver, making a mistake in an attempt to survive and defend from the pressure that was put on his shoulders. Unfortunately, a driver's error puts him out of that contention. And there's your race leader, Denis Vašek, car number 100, GT2 Motorsport liveried Lambo. And on to another one with 7 minutes left. A couple of laps from home right now. 11 laps completed currently. 1:38.0. So dropping the pace by about half a second in comparison to the fastest laps. Checking the drone view, we actually have all three leading cars in the same shot within the first sector, but having 7 and 5 seconds among them respectively. Personal best for Miro Konopka, 1:38.1, which means that he is now matching the pace of the guys ahead. Rudo Beño getting ahead of Boriš Kalman, having overtaken Mark Kastelic a couple of laps back. And another fight, Kastelic also wants through and wants ahead of the Porsche. Boriš Kalman then slowing down a little bit on the exit to avoid contact and to avoid off-track excursion. But that of course gives the position to Mark Kastelic. And this group about to be lapped very soon. Denis Vašek hoving into view. There he is in the background. Ooh, Boriš Kalman really fighting hard behind the wheel of his Porsche, dropping at least 2 wheels on the grass. Denis Vašek coming through as he is lapping the Porsche. And through the opening sequence we go. There's Adam Konopka in the Lambo, the other Lambo. 5 minutes left. Further personal bests for Miro Konopka and also for Hubert Darmetko, albeit half a second slower than Konopka. Up ahead, so 8 seconds between them. No fight on their hands there. Andrej Lah in 6th. He's already dropped behind Petr Brecka, so Petr up to 5th overall, 2nd in the GTC1 class, but he is trailing the class leader Darmetko by more than 21 seconds. He lost a lot of ground behind slower cars, and he's already worked his way up the field. But the race leader is actually too far away for him currently. There he is, the GTC1 class leader, Hubert Darmetko, car number 7, the Porsche 992 Cup. But there is a fight for the GT4 lead. Antal Žigo now only 0.8 of a second ahead of Rudo Beño. Beño 1:44.7 in his personal best. Also, Žigo did his personal best, 1:45.1. But they will be fighting for the class victory. The two BMWs. The M4 GT4s, car number 500 and car number 444.
Radek Kolářík ahead of Petr Koukola. A Porsche versus a KTM. Let's see if we can find the BMWs. The BMWs fighting for the GT4 class lead are currently in Sector 2, close to the hairpin. Chicane and a hairpin. There's the GT4 leaders. And to spice things up, they're both currently lapped by the race leaders. Denis Vašek is already through. Adam Konopka wants to do the same. There he goes. Down the inside he goes, so Rodobeño choosing to stay on the racing line, simply leaving it up to the faster car to deal with the overtake, which on the main straight isn't a problem. And then the race leader still Antal Gigot. They are not very far apart. Antal will also need to let the Lambo by. And Miro Konopka will also come close. There is your race leader, Denis Vašek, still enjoying. Well, he lost quite some chunk of time through the lapping of back markers, because not so long ago he was 7 seconds up the road. Now it's only 4 seconds between him and Adam Konopka, so he's gonna have to up the tempo a tiny little bit, which he is doing actually. 34.2 in the first sector, 34.7 for Konopka, who was actually lapping the same cars at that time. So how about the sector number 2, 36.8 for Vašek, 37.0 for Konopka. So this is going to be a better lap already for Denis Vašek. And this is going to be the final lap of the race with 20 seconds left on the clock. Denis Vašek still in the lead, looking for a lights to flag victory here in Hungary. Adam Konopka not so far behind, but he was a bit slower on the previous lap by about half a second. Miro Konopka still third, Hubert Darmetko in fourth. And into the final sector we go with Denis Vašek leading. This has been a dominant and pleasant Sunday drive for Denis Vašek. There he goes across the line. Denis Vašek wins the second GT sprint and takes the overall victory here at the BalatonPark. Adam Konopka coming safely home as the GT3 class leader, scoring a victory behind the wheel of the Lamborghini. So forgotten should be the misfortunes of Saturday, because the sunnier, warmer and more successful Sunday is here. Adam Konopka second on the road overall and victorious in the GT3 class. His dad finishing behind him in third and actually second in the GT3 class. Hubert Darmetko across the line in fourth, scoring the GTC1 victory. Trebrecka has just come across the line under the checkered flag in P5 overall. Andrej Lah, he's going to be second among the GTCs with his Lambo. We've already got the GT4 cars in the end. So Antal Žigo taking the victory ahead of Rudo Beňo, Mark Kastelic third, Kalman Bodiš then in 16th overall, and third in the GTX class. The GTX class actually won by Petr Koukola with the Janík Motorsport prepared GTX KTM. Radek Kolařík 8th on the road from Franz Lamer and Gabor Tim. Bob Bau in 11th, Libor Dvořáček after that mistake 12th. And then the GT4 guys, Antal Žigo, Rudo Beňo, Mark Kastelic, behind them Kalman Bodiš, and the only other car that we are awaiting across the line, the Lemma Racing's Mercedes of Andrej Makarovic, down in 17th overall. So there he goes. So this was your Sunday drive. We actually also missed the PTT Racing team that took victory in yesterday's endurance race. The pairing of Martin Kaczmarski and Mateusz Lisowski not taking part in today's race. There is your GT4 class leader and winner, Antal Žigo from Trevor Racing. Cars returning back to the pit lane. Further 2 races coming up. We still have the third race of Formula 4 and second race of Renault Twingo Cup coming up next ahead of us. And the GT cars making their way back to the Parc Fermé. With Denis Vašek taking the overall victory. Ooh, and we actually have the Lemma Racing's Mercedes, the GT4 car, on the grass, on the lap where you should already just be on your way to the pits, and the barrier bent a bit. Has he crashed into the barrier there? This is very weird. Yeah, the front bumper is broken on the Mercedes. Ooh, this is a very weird incident. The race has already ended and we have the Mercedes in the wall. Okay, that's not what we would expect and what the team would need to close off the Sunday program. And he actually, hang on, he went the other way around now. I think he went the other way around from that chicane. Okay, that was weird, but anyway, here's your results, and Denis Vašek, the overall winner, and we'll be back shortly with the Formula 4 race in a couple of minutes.